Hi, my name is John. This is my good buddy Andy, and you're listening to the Packers Blitz podcast, the podcast done by two diehard Packer fans who survived the dark times of the 1980s of Packers football and live to talk about it. And this podcast is dedicated to the world's greatest fans, Packer fans. So, all right, let's get right into it. Andy, I am still hot, even after a night's sleep on it. So we are starting a new.
And you're
thing.
not talking about your looks, John, right?
Hey, look at
yeah,
you.
I did want to say one thing before you start
Okay.
your rant, which is going to happen. You already prepared me for it. It's just, I would say, the week 2 game was a heartbreaking 25-24 loss to the Falcons. So it was heartbreaking for me because I'm watching it with my family. A good hunk of it in actually I was in St. Louis. And it was just we were doing so well,
Yep.
We're up
I'm gonna get
24-12 or whatever it was, and all of a sudden the fourth quarter, a good majority of it, we just it was a big dud.
Yeah.
So
yes.
Okay.
So thank you, Andy, because now you're going to get, and this might be we might have to decide if this is going to be an Andy and John rant, or if this is going to be a Andy rant or a John rant. But tonight, folks, this episode,
I've got my rant later on in the show.
All right. Great. So, all right.
Go fire away.
I'm firing all cannons, baby. So this is John's Packers Blitz Barrage Rant. So I want everyone, if you're in your car, if you're in your home, if you wherever you are right now, you're walking, you're jogging, I don't care what you're doing. I want you to stop. And I want you to say this. Repeat after me, Packer fans. Ready, Andy? I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going
I'm
to
as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take it anymore.
Losses like this anymore. Okay?
Sorry, I cut you off, John. Go ahead.
No, that's going. Fine. So, Packer fans, scream. I'm as mad as hell. I'm not going to take losses like this anymore. This is happening. And I'm going to get to some quotes here, some comments from some social sites on the Packers, because a lot of people hit it right on the head. We have done this, Andy, because remember, Andy and I have been watching from the 80s. So we've been through the Mike Sherman era, the Mike McCarthy era, and eras before that. But let's use Mike Sherman. We're going to start that everybody can at least know some coaches. Because if you're younger, you're like, who in the heck is Bart Starr? All right, so we're going to start with Mike Sherman. Okay, what happened in the Mike Sherman era? 4th and 26. Like, what? We lost the playoff game to the Philadelphia Eagles in that, I think it was 2000, early 90s. I don't care when it was. It was 4th and 26. And we had that game won. It unbelievable. Then we go to Mike McCarthy. And how many games did we lose where we just couldn't finish the game? I can't even, look it up, Packer fans. There's a lot, okay? Then, now we're in the Matt Lafluer era, and we keep doing this again. And it is, to me, like I said, I'm as mad as hell. And you should be, Packer fans, because we can't continue to lose games like this. These are the Atlanta Falcons, who are not going to the Super Bowl. Maybe they'll sneak in the playoffs. They have a quarterback that is, in my opinion, I think Jordan Love's a little better right now. That's my opinion. But, again, Atlanta fans, you can argue with that. But I'm going to get right into some comments from social sites on the Packers that kind of was like talking about the game. And I'm like, okay, that kind of hit on the head here. So there was this one comment that said, a reminder that Matt Lafluer chose to punt the opening drive instead of try a 56-yard field goal indoors with his rookie kicker with a cannon of a right leg. Okay, right? I agree with that. Now, 56 yards that's pushing it. But remember, last week he hit one from over 50 that could have been good from 60. We talked about it in the last episode. Okay, let's move on to AJ Dillon. And I like AJ Dillon. He's a good player, but but in this little thing it says AJ Dillon is a blank. Mine is klutzy, is my word. He could not stop tripping. He would get up there and boom, 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 boom. And I'm like, oh, did someone trip him? Did someone do it? No. And, to make things worse, he fell and all his quadzilla legs fell on Elton Jenkins, was hurt on a 3rd and 2 play. Here we go. Double whammy that hurt Elton Jenkins when they didn't convert. And remember, Elton Jenkins is a Pro Bowler, and we really, really need him. My God. AJ Dillon fell on Elton Jenkins' surgically repaired left knee, and Elton Jenkins will be out for the next few games with an MCL sprain. So this is his klutziness. He took out one of our best linemen. And I'm like, what is going on? So I was just like, really, is this happening again? I mean, are we going back? And we're not going back, folks, to the 1980s. This was common in the 80s, where people trip over each other, would hurt each other, would just be the most ridiculous injuries you wouldn't believe. So let's move on to the next one. This is kind of a funny one, a good one, but I understand where this guy's coming from. Honestly, every time you guys blame Joe Barry on any Green Bay Packers loss, you seem to forget that we did not score a single point in the 4th quarter. Also, we had three and outs. This was a well-rounded loss. Okay, I agree with this. Okay, this social comment. However, the other thing is what makes me mad is this isn't a Jordan Love thing. This is an Aaron Rodgers thing too. How many times, Packer fans, and we'll put on the tape, go back to YouTube, whatever, and watch the NFC Championship game at Lambeau against FU Tom Brady when we were in the 4th quarter and we were starting to move the ball and everything. We were starting to do all right, and then 3 and out. And it was just like, this is insanity. And I don't know if this is a Matt Lafluer thing. To me, it isn't. Mike McCarthy did it. Mike Sherman did it. So maybe let's stop getting coaches who start with the letter M. And let's hire a guy with this, I don't know, a J, like D, John. And then here's something I love is, this is another social comment. Maybe someone should teach Joe Barry how to defend the run so he can pass it on to his players. I'm being sarcastic, of course, but it seems to be, and I love this, Groundhog Day when it comes to Packers playing good defense. If you have not seen the movie Groundhog Day, do yourself a favor. It is one of the most funniest and I would say charming movies. You could watch it with your family. Pretty much all of it. There's some things in there maybe you don't want to have with the family, but all in all, it's a movie that teaches you a lot of lessons in life. And Bill Murray's characters, really quickly, he gets stuck in the same day over and over and over and over and over until he breaks out. I won't do it. The movie's been out. Go see it, but I'm still not going to do spoilers for you. It's a great movie. It has a lot of life lessons in there. And so really, that really hit me. I'm like, yeah, this is Groundhog Day. How many times does our defense have to give up all this yardage on running? I mean, after a while, it was like, yeah, screw you guys. I'm just going to run this way. Oh, your defense is this way? We'll go that way. Oh, there was a 4th and 4. Look, 4th and 4. Okay, here comes B. John Robinson. They fake it to him. Ritter comes out the other. There's nobody there. The linebacker gets over too late. No one's spying on. Come on. I mean, we're just doing basic stuff here. So my thing is, it's exactly right. It is Groundhog Day defense over 211 rushing yards. They did that previous week to Carolina. Now, Carolina is a good team. I'm okay. Let me put them a little too much, but they still have a pretty good defense. Okay. And they got boat raced out of there. And Atlanta, again, they're not that good. They're an average team. I was telling Andy, texting back and forth, they're kind of a mirror image of the Packers, but I think we still have better skilled players at certain positions. And yes, I know Aaron Jones didn't play, David Bakhtiari didn't play, and Christian Watson didn't play. Let me tell you something. I didn't want David Bakhtiari to play because he probably would have got hurt on that turf. He's out for the rest of the year. And where are we? Christian Watson, even if he played, maybe he would do something. You don't know. But, the guy hasn't hardly played at all, so he's got to get his rhythm. But Aaron Jones, yes, that was a huge thing. And, one of the things is, too, is everything good they did in the Bears game, which Andy and I talked about in the last episode. And we were very generous to the coaching staff and special teams and defense and offense. They just the opposite way. And I'm like, how the hell can you guys go from that up game coming into this game against Atlanta? And not a great team, definitely a beatable team. You're winning in the fourth quarter. And then again, it's just they forgot how to finish. So I'm done. Peace out. Andy, take it.
You need some oxygen, John. Maybe
I need something.
Some water. Something.
I'm drinking some water now.
Yeah, well, Groundhog Day, a big time loop, and that's kind of how our Packers run defense has been, right? It's the same loop over and over and over again. So, and I did want to mention a couple things about the movie just quick. Andy McDowell was really great in it. She was the love interest of Bill Murray. Great overall cast in it that came out in, I believe, in 1993. It was directed by the late, great Harold Ramis of a Ghostbusters fame. He was one of the Ghostbusters in Ghostbusters. So Harold Ramis, rest in peace. And then I did want to, before I started, and I'm sure, John, you saw this. Of course, you had just said social media blew up. It went nuclear. The other thing I noticed is that there was article after article after article after article about the Packers loss, and there's just almost too many articles that came out, and there's just of course a lot of complaining that we personally don't like to do, but it's easy to do after this loss because they had it within their grasp and they let it slip through their fingers, so to speak. So I did want to mention that. Yeah, just a lot going on the last few days. It was hard for me to kind of come to grips with everything and take all the information and try to do the podcast after that, because there was so much we could talk about. And so I tried to limit it as best I could. Packers Blitz fans, I'm going to try to keep this as short as we possibly can. But so I wanted to go through the recap a little bit. We aren't going to go through play-by-play or anything like that. We're going to do some more general stuff. So very interesting. The game on Sunday marked only the third time in the Packers 104-year history that they opened the season with 2 consecutive road games. Thank you, NFL. Not. The Packers have still never opened the regular season with 2 consecutive road victories. Hasn't happened. So if they would have won, that would have been the first time.
Interesting.
So, and then according to acmepackingcompany.com, I read an article. I just saw the first line and I just had to say it for everybody. It says, they said, "What a weird, gross game." And to be quite honest, I read the article and I didn't know. I knew what they meant by weird. I'm not sure what they meant by gross.
Yeah, what do you mean by gross?
Yeah, that could mean a lot of different things. I don't know, but I didn't get that part. But that's what they said. I thought that was kind of funny. And then the other thing I wanted to add before I went into the winners and losers in the game,
Okay.
Bucky Brooks of Fox Sports is an idiot.
Yeah, he is.
In his NFL top 10 power rankings, he has now ranked the Atlanta Falcons number 7. They weren't even ranked. They weren't even ranked last week.
Come on.
Yes, I picked the Falcons to make the playoffs. I personally did. But number 7, no way.
No way.
Bucky Brooks mentioned how head coach Arthur Smith has transformed Atlanta's run-heavy offense into an unstoppable force.
No,
exactly what he said. Bijan Robinson is an electric playmaker. I'll give him that, with elite run receiver skills. He had 19 attempts and 124 yards rushing, 4 catches, and 48 yards. Aaron Jones, anyone? So basically, he's kind of an Aaron Jones, almost a clone with his production. If Jones plays in that game, the Packers win.
Absolutely.
They do.
Absolutely.
Automatic.
Yes.
The Falcons' young quarterback, Desmond Ridder, was okay. The Falcons' D was okay. Even their kicker, Koo is his last name. I just love the last name. Koo is okay. I think he missed a. He's okay. I think he missed an extra point or something.
Yeah.
So the only reason that I picked them to make the playoffs, they're probably going to make it, by the way, is because they're in a crappy division. I said this before. Yeah. So they may go 10-7 or 9-8, but it's because they're in a crappy division.
Yes.
Just look it up, fans. I mean, it's awful.
It's awful.
Yeah, it's the worst. So anyway, moving on. I'm going to go through some of the winners. John, was there anything you wanted to add before we move on? Any comments about anything that I said so far?
No, my rant
chime in if you want.
covered it. My rant pretty much covered it. So yeah, go on to the winners.
It did. So the winners from the game, as far as the Packers are concerned, I was going to say Wookie. the rookie wide receivers, Jaden Reed,
my boy,
total winner, 2 touchdowns, and Dontavian Wicks.
That was weird.
Must have been called up from the practice squad, I guess.
Yeah, I guess.
I don't know. Wasn't supposed to play very much. He scored a touchdown too.
Yeah.
So it seems that Goody did right by Jordan Love when he drafted 5 pass catchers in the 2023 draft. Jaden Reed made us all forget about missing Christian Watson's and Aaron Jones' speed when Reed hit 20.54 miles per hour on his first touchdown.
Smoke it.
We didn't miss Watson's and Jones's elusiveness when Dontavian Wicks broke a tackle in which he could easily have gone down, a la Josiah DeGuara. He did that during the game, by the way. Did you see that, John? He just went down. He was all upset with himself, but he just went right down. Seriously, again.
God.
So Dontavian Wicks scored a 32-yard touchdown. And so he broke a tackle, made a fantastic play. Jaden Reed, by the way, is our Packers Blitz offensive player of the game. Johnny, you in agreement with me on that?
Absolutely.
Okay, so he's our offensive player of the game, by the way. So he's a winner. Another winner is inside linebacker Quay Walker, who John just loves, and he played so great in the Chicago game. Well, he played great again.
Yeah, he did.
He was simply everywhere on the field Sunday with his combination of speed and size. He led the team in tackles with 17. 8 solo, recorded a quarterback hit, and had a pass defended, which, by the way, should have been his second INT in as many weeks. So it hit him right in the face. I don't know if it went through his hands, hit him right in the chops. I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't know what happened, but he should. I don't know. He had a perfect opportunity for an interception. So Quay Walker is Packers Blitz defensive player of the game. Are we in agreement with that on that, John? Okay.
You are correct, sir.
And then another winner I thought for the game, he did make a few, plays that weren't great toward the end, but Jordan Love. And the reason is this: patience will pay off. He looks like a
Patience.
franchise quarterback, period.
Yes.
He does. The 2-minute debacle of play calling at the end of the game was not his fault.
No.
Professional football players practice those drills every stinking day in practice. Why were 4 vanilla play calls called like that at the end of the game in a win or lose situation? This is kind of a rant too. Sorry. Sorry, Jordan. Somebody on the coaching staff better rethink the Packers 2-minute drills on offense.
Yeah.
Abysmal execution and play calling. Abysmal. Jordan is going to be all right. Remember, the Packers were missing 4 of their best offensive players, like the 4 top players on offense.
Yeah.
Aaron Jones, Watson. We had Bakhtiari out, and Eldon Jenkins went out during the game. So all 4 of our best offensive players were out. So any more winners that you can think of, John?
Yeah. So I want to mention a couple other on defense. Kenny Clark. Now he did not do. He did not. I'm not saying he didn't get set, but he was there when he needed to be there. Not in the fourth quarter. I don't know what the. I think he was out there too much. We gotta work on that to get him on and off the field. And also I really liked on offense. Oh, you already mentioned Wicks. I don't want to say well, I think he did a really nice job of that catch and breaking that tackle. And I really think that he could be an upcoming player. I wouldn't call him a winner, but I just think he did a nice job because he is not a starter. I mean, to come into that situation, I think he did pretty well. Other than that, again, no, I think you hit it on the head. And going back to Jordan Love, just really quickly, Jordan Love should be never at this point in his career be put in that situation with 35 seconds left or how much it was to get a game-winning field goal, because I'm sorry, but he's not ready for that spotlight yet. And if you go back to Aaron Rodgers' first year, again, go to YouTube. They have all his things on there from his first year. Aaron Rodgers didn't do that great either. He would either hold the ball too long and get sacked, or he would throw the ball like over someone's head. And if you're like, are you sure, John, you're remembering that right? Go back and look at it, because I looked at it today. It's on YouTube where they did highlights of Aaron Rodgers' first year, and you're like, huh. Well, that's interesting. And you're right, Andy. Jordan Love and Aaron Rodgers, yes, and to Zach's point, they do really look alike in their throwing motion. I mean, there were some times, and they 2 in the game, where he was making some throws, and the announcers went, "Yep, that's Aaron Rodgers." That's an Aaron Rodgers. You're not throw per se, but his motion and the way he did it. So, again, patience. We cannot get this on Jordan Love. He can take part of the blame for that dumb thing he was doing with 4th and 1, where he gets up there and he just suddenly goes. I'm like sitting there and I'm like, okay, are we going? Are we not going? Like, where are we going?
Right. Yeah, but you have to get the ball first, John. You have to wait for your offensive line to move. You get the ball, you wait a split second, wait for them to block, and then you find the gap, and then you go. He would just went right away. So it's like nobody taught him how to do a sneak or that type of play.
That's
you don't do that
stuff. Yeah, I just
no kidding. I guess he needs to work on that, but
we'll work on that.
But again, you're absolutely right. The majority of it was not Jordan's fault. They put him in a bad situation at the end of the game. The defense could not stop the run, of course, and there are too many 3rd down conversions. It was ridiculous. They could not get off the field, which I will get into in a little bit.
Yeah. So
by the way, but that'll be my rant later on.
There you go.
But and then the losers in the ball game. The losers, the football, which clearly wanted to be intercepted multiple times by the Packers, was the biggest loser. Packer fans out there,
Good one.
that has nothing to do with weight loss. The Quay Walker drop that we already mentioned. Darnell Savage missed an INT, missed an interception on a long completion to Atlanta wide receiver Matt Collins that could have prevented the Falcons' comeback.
Oh, that was
And
bad.
last but not least, all-world cornerback Jair Alexander, pick six. I think that was in the first half. Was thrown right to his chest.
Right to him.
Right to him.
Right to him.
Like he was the receiver. So, yeah, even any one of these three interceptions shoulda, coulda, woulda changed the outcome on the game.
Yep.
Atlanta quarterback Desmond Ritter should have finished with 4 picks instead of 1. He had 1 pick. That was it.
Yeah.
Those plays need to be made. I can't emphasize that enough.
And I want to say too, maybe you have this.
Oh my gosh.
Jair Alexander had an awful day.
Awful.
Burn the tape. He was out of position on some plays. He was not tackling. Yep. He was
Drake London's touchdown out of position.
He just was having one of these rotten days. So I'm hoping he'll bounce back. But anyway,
hopefully. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. And then back to AJ Dillon. That he's one of the losers in this game for sure. Yes. AJ Dillon is clearly not the answer at running back.
Nope.
He was given an opportunity to start at running back and didn't run with it. No. Like John said, there were multiple instances of him tripping and coming up short of a first down. Runs that seemed like he was going down way too easily for a guy with tree trunks for legs. Absolute tree trunks. Yeah. So for the Packers, a tank-like back should easily pick up first down on third and short, but somehow it's not the case with AJ Dillon, is it? Something has to change.
And something I want to make an observation here really quick, Andy. We were talking this offline here before we got on. Maybe this is me, but ever since AJ Dillon got married and had a kid, he's a different back. He's a different person. And maybe it's just me. And I'm going to go back and I'm going to watch it before he got married, after he got married and had a kid. Now, is that an excuse? Andy and I both agreed. Absolutely not. You have to leave a legacy for your kid and your family. So am I going to bust my butt out there? Absolutely. Am I going to trip and look like a klutz and then show that to my kid, to my son? No, it's embarrassing. So again, maybe this is something, maybe it isn't, but I've been watching football for a long time. And I know when guys have just quit, when guys are just like, I'm done, man. And you can see the fire go out of their eyes. They're just not hungry anymore. And they just are like, yeah, I think it's time to go. I don't think this is his case. I think AJ Dillon is just having a bad couple games, we hope, because it's his contract year. And if he continues to play this way, well, good luck trying to get a big contract, AJ. I wish luck, but it's not going to happen. So something has to change. And I don't know what it is, like Andy said. So anyway, on to the next.
Yeah, another one of the losers was, Matt Lafluer. His loyalty to A.J. Dillon and a certain defensive coordinator who shall not be named is costing his football team more victories. The Packers were ahead at halftime the entire third quarter and most of the fourth. Then they inexplicably lost, leading 24-22. Lafluer called a running play 3 times in a row with A.J. Dillon for a total of 9 yards. It wasn't working before. So why did Lafluer suddenly think that it would happen with the game on the line? Like John has said at nauseum, I said it. Joe Barry's defense cannot stop the run when it has to. Year after effing year, Matt
Mhm.
Lafleur's loyalty cost his team the game. His
Yeah.
loyalty to not only AJ Dillon, but also
Yeah.
Joe frickin' Barry.
Yeah.
Any comment on that?
No, just
Those
really.
are the decisions that head coaches make, John.
Yeah.
You know, who's in, who's out, who are you going to put your faith in?
Yeah.
And unfortunately, he's put his faith in, I mean, especially Joe Barry. That one is just head scratching to this day. I have
That
no idea.
right.
Maybe
So
he's got some tape on him. He did something he wasn't supposed to. I don't know
going
what
to
it
the
is.
hotel with some lady.
I
But
no,
here's
we
the
aren't.
thing on
Yeah,
that. Mike McCarthy did this too, and it cost him his job. Okay. He was loyal to some players and you
coaches
know,
too.
coaches too.
Yeah,
Where he, it just cost them. And people would say that. People would sports announcers as well as reporters would say, he's gonna lose his job because he doesn't understand that yes, loyalty is important, but in this game, winning is more important. So I'm sorry, you can be loyal to a fault, and then normally that's a good characteristic. In football, unfortunately, winning trumps that. So I just think Matt LaFleur, just really quickly, is on a short rope because remember, folks, in the offseason, Rich Bisaccia was named assistant head coach. So to me, that spoke volumes because Rich Bisaccia, if you go back, the last time the Raiders made the playoffs, well, guess who was their coach? Rich Bisaccia. Guess who, has a ton of network people that he knows. He's been in the game. He's a well-respected guy. I'm just saying, I don't think Rich Bisaccia would be the answer, but if he became our coach, I would not. I don't know. I don't know about you, Andy. What do you think? Would you kind of be like, or let's see our coach? Just kind of curious.
As far as Rich Bisaccia goes,
Yeah, if he would become our coach,
yeah,
you'd
he's
be
got a
okay
lot of
with that?
fire to him. I like
Okay.
that.
All right.
I mean, I like the fire and the drive he's got. You know, it's really uplifting lifting to see some guy who's just, he can't, he's
So,
almost like, I can't take it anymore. And then he just like, yelling and screaming, getting all up in players' faces. I
yeah,
love
he did
that.
that
That's
later.
old school.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Yeah, he
So let's
doesn't
go.
accept, inept play. He doesn't accept it or tolerate it. And I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
He lets you know if you weren't doing what you're supposed to be doing, you weren't doing your job.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Missed assignments,
Mm,
missed tackles, stuff like
right.
that. Shanking stuff to the right constantly. He let
Right.
Carlson know about that, didn't he?
Right. Exactly.
And he
Exactly.
got it corrected. He hasn't
He
been
did.
doing it
So
lately.
far, so good.
So
Yeah.
so far so good. Yeah.
All right. Let's get to the most
He's a really good
depressing.
coach.
So let's get to the most depressing thing.
Well,
The Packers
probably.
run.
The Packers run D, just a total loser. The
Ugh.
Falcons ran 78 plays. I
Ugh.
don't know if you saw this stat, John.
Yes.
The Falcons ran 78 plays to the Packers 47 plays
Jeez.
on offense.
Mm.
Overall, the Falcons ran the ball 45 times,
Oh,
almost as many times as the total number of Packers plays.
jeez.
The the Packers, this is very interesting. The
Very-
Packers have ranked dead last
Ugh.
in run EPA. It's very complicated. Look it up on Google. EPA. It's an
Hey, all right.
estimated points metric
Okay.
on defense.
All
And
right.
since Goody took over as GM from 2018 to 2022, we are the worst in
Oh
the
my.
entire NFL since
Oh.
2018. 5 long years. So
Mm,
they have this metric when it comes to the running game and run
yeah.
defense, and
Mm,
we're dead last in it. So,
mm,
yeah. And it was very interesting when I saw it in the article. I was like, oh my gosh, that makes a lot of sense
that's terrible.
because this has been a constant issue that has not been corrected, at least not yet. I know they're trying, but they haven't accomplished it. We're still awful with this, and we need to get better and get better quick. Otherwise, we aren't going to make the playoffs. Playoffs.
Yeah.
So, lastly, and I know you talked a little bit about David Bakhtiari, but I have a different take on this. There are stories circulating out there that he didn't play because of the turf at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. If that's true, WTF?
Mm,
The man gets paid over $1 million a game to play football, not to be scared of turf. So again, I'm not sure whether it was coming from David, whether it was coming from the Packers, a
yeah.
little bit of both. I don't know. I don't even know if that's a thing. But I saw enough articles pop up that maybe it is a thing. So, but again, John, Packers Blitz fans out there, football fans, you didn't see Aaron Rodgers refuse to play home games for the New York Jets, did you? You know, they have a home,
Yeah.
home turf
Right.
that's awful. But you didn't
Yeah.
see him not playing.
Right.
What's he going to end up playing? Not half of the games? Seriously?
Mm-hmm.
No, no.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I know I want to see David Bakhtiari out there. I don't want to get him injured again. I understand
Right.
that viewpoint, but there's a flip side of it. You can't be scared also to play football. And he has had
Exactly.
so many knee issues. And I don't know if he actually has a knee issue or they just made it up or what the deal was.
Mm,
But again, we aren't trying to be a conspiracy theorist here. But if it was, the reason was the turf, I think that's a really sad excuse.
yeah.
If it was David driving that, and I'm not saying he was.
Yeah.
He seems like a
We
tough dude and a really good football
yeah.
player, and he probably wanted to be out there. And the point I wanted to make again is that this one loss can be the difference between us making the playoffs and not making them.
Yep.
This one loss, we are going to
Right.
be probably end up being really, really close to making the playoffs. I think John had them in. I
Yes, I
didn't
did.
have them in the playoffs, but they're going to be close. They are. I really think they're going to be close. And
Mm,
so if they're, an 8-9 team, 9-8 team, if they're 9-8 team,
yeah.
they might make the playoffs. So
Mhm.
again, you need all your best players out there. And
Yeah.
that's what I wanted to say about that. Any more losers that you wanted to make mention of, John?
Yeah. It's just the whole mess of like in my rant where it's just everybody contributed to this. It was well rounded. Joe Barry can't stop the run. Matt Lafluer is calling 3 runs in a row. AJ Dillon's tripping. Our defense intercept. It's just an aptitude across the entire organization that in that game against what sticks in my craw is that Atlanta's not a good team. They're an average team. They're average, like you said, average, average, average. If you can't
In
beat
a
Atlanta
horrible division.
in a horrible division,
Yep. Which they're
this
going to
is
end
a
up being
victory.
9-8, 10-7, John,
Yeah,
and they're going to make the
yeah,
playoffs, like I
yeah.
said.
And this
So,
thing is, if you're a Falcons fan on Monday morning, you should be like, "Whoo, that was close." Like, whoa, we
exactly. You
stole
can't
that
feel
one.
good. You can feel good about a lot of things that you got the victory, but
Yeah, but you got to
you
be
know,
honest and be like,
right.
"One." I mean, you won by 1 stinking point. I mean, come on. It's not good. So anyway,
Yeah.
Andy,
So
you got a
so
rant.
yes. Yes. So Packers Blitz fans, hopefully this is worth the wait. But this is my rant. When you're a very young team like the Packers, you have to learn something really quick if you want to win in the NFL. Winning is all about bringing your best for all 60 minutes, not 56, not 57, not 58, not 59. It has to be all 60. that's my rant. But I'm going to move on to another thing that I saw. Evan Winter with AZ Sports said it best when he said the Packers offense had the ball for just 3 minutes and 23 seconds in the final 15 minutes of the game and went 0 for 3 on third down and 0 for 1 on fourth down. The latter was a mistake by Jordan Love, and it cost the team not only a shot at converting a 4th and inches, but it cost them the game too. End quote. And that was from Evan Winter, by the way. Can't totally blame it on Jordan Love, by the way, but
No.
yeah, it would have been nice if he wouldn't have looked so foolish on that play. We already talked about that.
Yeah.
So then lastly, John, Packers Blitz fans, this was a perfect example of a young player making a mistake at the most crucial time of the game. That is why we lost. That is why, as the greatest fans in the NFL, we have to continue to be patient. If the Packers are going to make the playoffs, then those crucial mistakes need to be eliminated moving forward. So how about that rant, John?
I love it. It's a good rant. Yes, you're absolutely right. And this is going, and Packer Blitz fans, I'll tell you right now, and Andy, we all know this ain't the first one. It's coming again. They're going to be game. I just see roller coaster games, roller coaster season, roller coaster, whatever. And you hope that we keep going up on the roller coaster, not keep going down and up. But we'll see. But again, the thing I just want to say is you can't put Jordan Love at this point in his career with 35 seconds left to try to win that game. Sorry. He's not Aaron Rodgers as of right now. And maybe he'll never.
Should have never gotten to that point.
Never
got it. I know it. The Packers fans know it.
Ever got to that point. So yeah, let's change that all, and let's
switch
some
gears.
Fun, switch gears, and have some interesting, lighthearted facts, Andy.
Yeah, very interesting facts too. First, very interesting fact, Packers fans. The Packers are the tallest roster in the NFC at 6.25 feet tall. First fun fact. Second fact, the Packers are the heaviest roster in the NFC at 248.9 pounds.
Whoa,
just shy of New England's 249.1 pounds for the league lead. So we almost lead the league being the heaviest. Third interesting fact: the Packers are the least experienced roster in the NFC. We've already talked about this, John. At 25.13 years of age. And the fourth thing: the Packers roster has only 10 combined Pro Bowl selections. David Bakhtiari has 3. Kenny Clark has 2. Eldon Jenkins has 2. Jair Alexander has 2. And Aaron Jones has 1, not AJ Dillon. So that's 10 combined Pro Bowl selections. That's it. Right. Yeah, and you've got other clubs like I would say like the Bengals and the Chiefs. They had at least anywhere from 5 to I think 8 Pro Bowl selections, didn't they?
Yeah.
So and we've only got a combined 10. Okay. Okay. Well, I guess that wasn't that was kind of a downer at the end. Sorry, everybody. Yeah, we should actually have more than that. So that means our players got to start playing better. Our first round picks got to start playing better.
I mean, you got,
and they are starting to. Quay Walker looked really good. Devontae Wyatt
Walker being all pro.
Didn't hear much from him on Sunday, but the first game he was all over the place. So so John, we're going to talk about the home opener on Sunday,
here we go,
24th at noon against the New Orleans Saints. So John, do you have anything you want to talk about with that?
Not really, other than I just want to listen to what you say. Then I'm going to kind of give my little spiel.
Okay, go right ahead. You can go right ahead and chime in. So I'm going to kind of do some comparisons, and then I'm going to pick which team is the best, basically. So this is going to help me determine who wins the game, by the way, fans. So we're going to talk about this. John, if you're not in agreement with me, chime in. So
Will
for
do.
passing and the quarterback, I think it's pretty even between Derek Carr and Jordan Love. I don't think there's a huge difference between the two players, at least not at this point. I think Derek Carr, he's a veteran, but I don't think he's any more or less talented than Jordan Love. So I think that's pretty even. What do you think?
Yeah, I
Okay.
agree. That's a
If you're
point.
wrong, if I'm wrong, let me know.
No,
So
that's a
as
point.
far as the rushing goes at running back, I think the advantage is actually the Packers.
Really?
You got Aaron Jones
Oh, that's right. Kamara was
versus
suspended. Yeah.
right. Kamara was suspended for 6 games, and then you got our old player Jamal Williams, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he runs the ball for them, and so Aaron Jones is better than him. I think AJ
Absolutely.
Dillon actually might be better than him too. He had a
Uh,
good season last year for the Lions and scored a lot of touchdowns. But besides
yeah.
that, I don't. He protects the ball really well, doesn't fumble, but whatever.
Yeah.
I think the advantage is still the Packers. That's if Aaron Jones plays, by the way. He needs to
If
play.
he plays. Yeah.
If he plays, yeah. If with the receiving, with the wide receiver and tight end, I think the advantage is the Saints. They have wide receivers Chris Olave, Michael Thomas, Rashid Shaheed. I love that name. And he's kind of a playmaker. He does
Yeah.
some running and some catching. He's a little bit, kind of a jack of all trades type guy. Swiss Army knife or whatever, but for them. And then you had tight end Juwan Johnson, who actually I don't think's any better than Luke Musgrave, by the way. But
Yeah.
and then against our receivers like Romeo Dobbs is even going to play. We got Jaden Reed. We got
Christian Watson.
we got Wicks. We've got Musgrave. But when you're comparing those versus one another, I think the clear advantage right now would be the Saints.
Yeah, I agree.
So I give them the advantage on that. But as far as the offensive line goes, big advantage to Packers. Even with Jenkins and Bakhtiari maybe being out, Jenkins is going to be out. Bakhtiari maybe, who knows? So the Saints offensive line is penalty prone, injured, and underperforming. They are littered with a lot of former first round picks. Bob Rose from Sports Illustrated graded the unit a D.
Wow.
In 2022. I thought they were better than that. So I'm taking his word for it. Even without the our two offensive linemen on the left-hand side, the Packers will be okay because of their depth at the position. So I think there's still the advantage to the Packers. So overall, on offense, the advantage goes to the Packers. Yay.
Yes.
Yes. So we're analyzing it in a different way, Packers Blitz fans, Packer fans out there. So advantage Packers on offense. Now, as far as the defense goes, the defensive line, I would say the advantage is the Packers. The Saints do have veteran defensive end Cameron Jordan, who's awesome. He's still great, but the Packers D-line is deeper. So I give advantage to the Packers. John, anything? You're all right with that?
Yeah, I mean, it depends if Cameron Jordan takes over a game. Sometimes it depends if Bakhtiari is Bakhtiari in, then yes. He's nullified then, in my opinion. He'll still make plays. But yes, I agree. But again, depends on Bakhtiari if he's in or not.
It actually probably maybe is a little bit more even than I thought it was. But
yeah, I would say
as far as the line, okay. As far as the linebackers go, the advantage I think are the Packers. The Saints do have Demario Davis, and I think his name is Pete Werner. They're really solid players, but the Packers are just better. They have better linebackers than the Saints. So I say advantage Packers. What do you think?
Yeah, Clay Walker, yes.
Okay. We got Russell Douglas too. Who's our other linebacker with Quay Walker? His name's not coming to me. He's good too.
Yes.
Our
Oh,
middle linebacker.
yeah. Dang it! Now you got me.
Okay. What?
Devontae. No. Damn
Okay.
it.
We're gonna move
We'll
on.
look that up.
We'll get back to it. Okay. But we're just better with our linebackers, so we just are.
Yes.
So at cornerback, again, advantage Packers. We got Rasul Douglas and Jair Alexander. For the Saints, Marcus Lattimore is good, but he's not Alexander. He's not. He's not even Rasul Douglas. So
No.
advantage Packers on that. John, let me know if you're not in lockstep with that.
Absolutely.
At safety, the advantage would be actually the Saints, I think. Kind
Devondre
of a weakness
Campbell. Is
on our
that the guy you're thinking of?
yes, Devondre
Campbell.
Campbell. Sorry. I was saying Rasul Douglas. It wasn't Rasul Douglas. So yep. Great linebacker for the Packers. So, and then at safety again, advantage would be the Saints. You got Marcus May and Tyron Honey Badger Matthew. And they are upgrades over our guys. So I say the advantage to the Saints. But overall, on defense, the advantage is I think the Packers. And so then if we talk about special teams, who cares at that point? We already picked the Packers are better on offense and defense. So at that point, I'm saying the Packers are going to win. Packers are going to win 24-20 over the Saints is what I picked.
John?
I like
that. Yeah, so I really think
point spread's 43, by the way. 43.5.
Okay.
And the Packers are picked by, I don't know, a point, maybe a point and a half, something like that, over the Saints. I think we're I just think we're a better team. I was watching the game with Carolina a little bit tonight, and Saints, I don't know.
Yeah,
I just don't think there's
but they look like the Falcons. Great. One thing I want to mention on defense that could possibly, I don't know if it will hurt us or not, but Lucas Van Ness suffered an elbow injury in the Atlanta game. I have not heard anything. Have you, Andy? I've been looking at the news here just really quick, and all they say he heard it, and he didn't. His return to that game, the Falcons game, was questionable. But there is no news. No one has come out and said anything. By the way, I want to update Packer Blitz fans on another guy, Eric Stokes. It's starting to scare me, Andy, because no one's saying anything. I've looked it up today and just before I got on, just to be like, what's going on? And everyone just keeps saying, yep, he's out 4 games, he's on the PUP list. And I'm like, okay. That's still usually say, like when Rashawn Gary was coming back, what did people say? Oh, he's practicing, he's looking good, and he's doing that. They're not saying nothing, which to me, there's something going on. So Packer Blitz fans, if you know anything, you throw it our way on our social media sites, YouTube, Twitter, as well as Facebook, or PackersBlitz80@gmail.com. Please.
Yeah.
I'm really
Lucas Van
concerned.
Ness again.
Yes.
Yeah, sorry to cut you off. About Lucas Van Ness again. When I first saw it, I thought it was he's kind of just holding his arm kind of limply. I thought it was his elbow, but that he had hit his funny bone, and it was just a temporary thing. I don't think it was it's not a temporary thing. And then the other thing I thought it was maybe his shoulder, maybe it was a stinger or something, but I don't think it was that either. So
we'll see.
We'll have to let everybody know, give an update next time.
Yeah, we'll update.
So
my prediction is the Packers bounce back. They win 27-23 and pull this one out barely. I think it's going to be a nail biter game. I think the defense will redeem itself. And the reason I said 27-23 is because it just seems like a 27-23 game, like a wacky score like last week. I mean, Sunday, 25-24, it's like, that's kind of a weird score, right? And
Mhm.
so anyway, and I think
Yeah.
we win because usually, now we'll see this year, but usually Matt Lafluer, once he loses a game like he lost in Atlanta, he usually gets everyone ready and bounce back. And I think Jordan Love is young enough to be like, okay, it's done, move on. But Aaron Rodgers, I think he would be a little more cerebral and be like, okay, what did I do wrong? And fix
Yep.
that. And, I think Jordan Love's just kind of, okay, next
And we're
game,
yep,
let's go.
yep. And
So,
we're at home too, John. So that's a
yeah, so that'll
big
be a
home
fun, yeah,
field
that'll be
advantage, you
fun.
hope.
Yeah, that'll be
Yeah.
fun to have everyone home. So,
Yep.
Andy,
And by the
go
way,
ahead.
just to give us a report card, I know Packers Blitz fans probably thought I picked Atlanta last time. I did, but there was some changes in
Yeah,
availability of players. So I texted John just before the game. And I was with Zach, my
yes,
son, watching the game. And I had changed my final score. I'd actually picked the Packers. I had switched it to, I think it was 23-17. And I was feeling really good about that pick up until, the debacle in the fourth quarter because they were up 24-12. So I was like, oh, this is going to be great. I picked this game right. I thought, man, I really thought we were
it's
going
a
to win.
debacle.
Right. And it's a debacle. And then again, we lost 25-24. So we were both wrong on that, which, I really hated to be wrong on that. So, but it is what it is. So yeah, just a
Yeah,
little report card on that, scorecard on that. And then before we wrap up episode 38, John, on a positive note, the Packers are gonna defeat the Saints next week at the friendly confines of Lambeau. On another positive note, Aaron Charles Rodgers may end up returning this season after an innovative procedure by renowned orthopedic surgeon, Dr. Neil. Oh, gosh, I forget his last name, how to pronounce that.
take
El,
a shot.
El, I don't know. I
Latre.
yeah, I have no idea. He's a world famous
Well,
doctor that
okay.
does
Yeah.
orthopedic surgeons. So Elatrosh or something.
There you go.
Something like that. I don't know.
Someone tell us how to pronounce it. Reach out
Yeah,
to us.
so this surgeon was going to place an internal brace called an Achilles speed bridge
Hmm.
on Rogers' fully torn left Achilles. So they had
Mm.
photos of that. It was kind of gross.
Ugh.
Where they did, stop where they stopped it and they showed it. But yeah, no, not for me. But the procedure is designed to protect the repairer, accelerate the normal rehab process, and open up the possibility of an earlier return. So
Mm.
I think that's why Aaron did it.
Yeah.
It sounded like he really wanted to return this season.
Yeah.
So yeah,
And he saw Zach Wilson play against the Cowboys. How about them Cowboys? And he said, Sugar, I gotta get back.
right. Yeah. And then after the Packers week 1 victory over the Bears, 98% of
Okay.
Packers fans are confident in the team's direction. They did a survey. John, I wonder what that
Oh
percentage is now
boy.
after the week
That drop.
2 loss to the 7th ranked
No,
Falcons.
stop it.
Whatever.
Stop it.
John, given we have the greatest fans in the NFL,
Yes,
I
we
would
do.
hope that it is only dipped to about
Yeah, 97,
97%. The
90.
Packers have a bright future. They do ahead of them with Jordan Love as its starting quarterback, as their starting quarterback. So,
I
John, any final
told
thoughts before we
Yeah, totally,
call it a
totally
night?
agree. Totally agree. Uh, patience, patience, patience. I know I didn't show patience in my rant, but that's because I'm sick and tired of losing games against teams like the Falcons year after year after year. It gets old and it really, makes you mad. And we should get mad because we cannot go back to the 80s. Andy and I know that. So, really quickly, make sure you subscribe. Packers Blitz, rate us 5 stars because, like I said, it's just Andy and I. just trying to do our best because we love the Packers and, to keep us supported here so we can continue to do this. Please listen to Packers Blitz on your favorite podcast channel, whether it be, Spotify, YouTube, Apple. And again, remember, folks, we got to win this game against the Saints. So we need all the positivity we can get and throw the other stuff out because 2-1 is sure going to be better than 1-2. So we got to stay focused.
John, no more Groundhog days.
No more Groundhog days. Yeah. So that is over. In the movie, Bill Murray gets out of that, by the way. Spoiler alert, but I don't care. It's been out since 94. Watch it. So anyway, go Pack Go.
Go Pack Go.
Thanks, Annie. Love you, buddy. See you later.